Watch this video and you'll see how to prep your fondant, how to use cutters, how to use letter embossers, and at the end you'll be able to create a stunning cake topper just like this. So even if you are a cake making beginner, you will be able to create stunning fondant decoration. So our ingredient is fondant, of course. Now fondant looks like Play-Doh when you take it out of a pack. One great pro tip is that fondant will harden in air, so make sure that you either cover it with cling film or seal up the bag to keep your fondant in top tape when you're not using it. Now look at it, it looks like a hard lump of Play-Doh, and you need to work it. So this is not ready to be used at all. You can see I'm doing a process called kneading. You're yet essentially using the palm of your hand, your fingertips to really work the fondant. You can work on a silicone mat or on other work surfaces. To allow it to be non-stick, you can spread some corn flour on your work surface so that the fondant doesn't stick to your work surface. And you can also do that on your hands as well. You can use corn flour or you can use icing sugar. You just want a dusting, not too much, otherwise it will affect the texture of your fondant. So kneading is essentially just working it. And as you start to work it using the heel of your palm to just knead it and your fingertips and work it, you'll see that it becomes more soft and more pliable. Do not skip this step. This is essential for success. You want a fondant that's really stretchy. So you see, as I pull it, look at that, beautiful. It just pulls and draws. This fondant is now ready to be used. So this is the state that you want to get your fondant to. Okay, so you roll it into a ball, and then we're now going to use our silicone rolling pin to roll out the fondant. So again, silicone is non-stick, so this is what I would recommend for you to use when working with fondant. You get to decide how thick that you want your topper to be. I will say to you, do not make it thin. If it's too thin, it's difficult to take it off the mat and to place it where you want it to be. So it needs to have a reasonable thickness. When you're rolling, keep flipping it over and rolling to make sure it doesn't stick to the work surface. And you can use your smoother to finish off any imperfection. Next, you need some fondant cutters. So here I have two different types. They all work in the same way. Basically, it's the shape of what you want and then you cut it out. So this is a topper for Valentine's Day. So I'm using a heart-shaped cutter. Press it down firmly to create the shape and then gently peel off any excess. So there you have it. That's your fondant cake topper ready to go. If you want to move it, gently peel it off. So you see, this is the advantage of having a decent thickness of fondant. And then the rest of the remnants, again, you go through that whole process, rolling it out with your silicone rolling pin and then cutting more shapes until you have no fondant left. Now, if you are enjoying this tutorial and you're thinking to yourself, wow, this is not as hard as I thought. Well, you are right. Cake decorating and indeed baking is not actually that hard. And with Dr. Mommy Cake's tutorial, you're guaranteed to be able to make cakes that taste amazing and look great. So do hit the subscribe button. I post lots of videos and YouTube shorts every week that will take you from a beginner baker to a pro home baker. So please subscribe to my channel. Now, although I'm using fondant cutters, there is no limit to what you can create with fondant. You can create lots of different shapes. So I had some leftover fondants left and I decided to create an envelope freehand, just using my imagination and using a cutter. So actually, that's actually a scalpel blade. You can get dedicated fondant cutters and my ruler, probably overkill, but you can see that just from the fondant and with the ideas and imagination, I'm creating a little cute envelope shape. Next, I'm going to show you how to use letter embossers to create lettering on your fondant. Now, this is an embosser set, one of my favorites, because it's a large enough print that you can read it easily, and it has a knob which you'll see later on, so it makes it very easy to use. There are lots of different embossing sets that you can get that work just as well. And this works on fondant as well as on other mediums like buttercream. So you can use this to create letterings on your ganache and buttercream cakes as well. So we have our fondant shape. Again, you see I'm moving it all around and it's keeping the shape because it's a decent thickness. If it's too thin, you'll find that as you move it around, it can lose its shape. Don't worry if that happens, just redo it again. So whenever you are using lettering, it's always best to prepare. So don't just start stamping. Make sure that your letters are in the right place. You have the right letters the right way round so that you're spelling the correct word. And once you're happy, you just push it down. So you can see that this embosser set has little knobs so you can easily take it off. When you're embossing, you want to give decent pressure, but not too firm that you go all the way through. And once you've created your letters, that's your topper. So all you've got to do is put it on your cake, decorate. So you see, you've learned how to make a fondant topper. Happy baking!